Okay, so before we begin the press conference, this is in the memory of our beloved Arugula, a soul dedicated to the club. He served the club for many years. His introduction served as the editor of the East Bengal Samacha magazine and was a storehouse of knowledge of everything related to East Bengal. We will always remember him, and in a way we dedicated the last victory to him, his soul. So let's observe a minute's silence before we begin the press conference. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so I think we are good to begin. So hello and a warm welcome to everyone. This is our pre-match press conference ahead of tomorrow's home match against Jamshedpur FC. We have with us our head coach Oscar BRUZON and player NISHU KUMAR to take your questions. So please put your phones on silent mode and introduce yourselves before asking. So who wants to begin? Okay, Shuchar Davi has first question.
Hi coach, Shuchar from Oxford. After last match you said that you said something and the team bounced back. You said in the dressing room. So how tough it is to keep up the momentum?
Well, first of all, I need to praise the players because the players have shown the two phases of East Bengal during this season. So sometimes the team gets into that mood of relaxation and let the things happen on the pitch. But when we go for the things to happen is when we see this differential East Bengal. So the prize is on the players because they are understanding that they can push, and they showed in the second half that in 20 minutes scoring 4 goals and completely change the dynamics of the game. I think that is a good clue of what we have to do to keep winning games.
Okay, a few questions for NISHU before we come back to coach. Questions for NISHU?
NISHU, it's always tough to come back in a long injury period. So how you cope up the situation?
It is always difficult to come back from the injury, but at the same time, injuries are part of the football. So I did my best to come back, and the management, physio, they helped me a lot to come back from the injury, and now I'm getting back, and I'm getting the confidence also. So I'm very happy now.
Next question.
After the injuries, many injuries in your team, coach uses you in a new position and in different positions. How do you enjoy that and how do you feel that game step?
As I'm getting back to fitness, so wherever team needs me, I have to give my best. And if coach thinks that I can play that position, so it is always good for me to play in that position. So I am very happy that I can help the team in different positions. So I just want to give my best wherever and whenever coach needs me and team needs me.
Okay, any more questions for Nishu? Okay, so we'll move on to questions for coach. So, yes.
Hi coach, this is Motal from Output TV. Coach, this time Dixon Singh is over from the red card problem and maybe he will come to your score. And what is the situation of Diamantakos and will you prefer to and Mahesh, Diamantakos and Mahesh, and will you prefer to continue the winning combination, or because these players are coming, you are thinking about something different?
Yeah, the three players that you mentioned have shown good signs in the last practice. They are going to be part of the squad list. And what I can say is that we plan how to start the games, but we also want to finish the games in the best possible form. As we discussed the last day, there are possibilities that you need to go for the game in the last stages or that you need to be more conservative in the last stages. So having this in mind and having also in mind that the second half, the last day, the team was clicking and doing, I think, that a beautiful act of football, in that middle point, we will select what to do tomorrow. But probably, as you are watching in all my press conferences, I like continuity. I'm not a person that likes to be doing so many changes and pushing the players and inventing football. In football, everything is invented, and we just need to give continuity when the things are happening in the way that we work.
Shivaji has the next question.
I could Shivaji working for Coach, I think this is the last home match in this year. So maybe 3 points it will be a Christmas gift for your fans. So what's your take on that?
Yeah, good one. We were talking a lot about this run of 3 games here at home, and that they will define probably the rest of the season. The way we face the game of tomorrow is, one more time, is the most important game of the season. And we want to keep having the most important games of the season because that means that the team is in a good momentum. We don't want to break it. We want to keep climbing on the table. And for doing that, I think that tomorrow we have a beautiful opportunity because Jamshedpur is now positioned in the 6th position of the table, and we were talking a lot about our dream. And if we can convert that dream into an objective in the next few weeks, so that is all what we want. But do not forget that we are still facing some problems and adversities with the injuries. But what we are trying to do is convert it in more hungriness, more eagerness, and try to overcome with all the problems that we are having. And the example is the second half of the last game.
Coach, realistically, how optimistic you are to secure your place in the last 6?
Realistically, I can tell you that tomorrow we have chances to win the game. And if we win the game, the distance are going to be very short. And then we will go to Hyderabad the next week. Probably we finish the year where nobody expected. So, as I told you, right now let's keep it as a dream, but as an achievable dream. We are going to do everything to try to be on that position because since my first day here, I say that East Bengal is worth and deserves. This is an historical club, so being on the last positions of the table, I think is not realistic. What is realistic for this club is trying to be challenging always for titles. So if we want to challenge for the title, we need to be in the position of a top 6. So this is realistic, not optimistic.
Okay, one more question then.
Also, how you change the body language or enter everything in this game?
Sorry?
How you change the everything in this game?
Body language.
How you change
the body language.
I was not here before I joined the team, so I don't know if it was a different body language. Our body language is winners. I think that the players, I'm very happy with the weekly work. They are showing that they have big spirit, that they want to be a winning unit, and week after week, practice after practice, I really can say that the team is improving, is in the right line, and now when we are starting to recover players and having this confidence of being strong on our performances and getting the results, I think that the body language of us should be on earth, because football, when you are thinking that you are too good, is when it gives you a bath of reality. And opposite, when everybody is thinking that you are too bad, you need to overcome, and this is the situation that we are now. So before we were not that bad, and now probably we are not that good.
Okay, Devansh, you have a question? I think he has a question, then we'll move to you.
Coach, opponent coach Khalid Jamil is the former coach of Bengal. What's your assessment regarding your opponent?
First of all, I know Khalid from my times in Sporting Goa. I played many times. He was the coach of how strong they are the teams. Spirit is also a characteristic of his teams. The accumulation of man, the physical football, the capitalization of chances, the set pieces. I think Khalid has shown throughout the years that if he's holding and being probably the Indian coach with most games in the ISL, is because he has done enough merits to do that. I think that Jamshedpur has only 10 games and 18 points. They are doing a beautiful start of the season, and they are coming here with 2 back-to-back wins. So that means that tomorrow we are going to face a very strong rival, and I repeat you, I have big respect for Khalid because he's 10 years coaching at the maximum level, and I think that he's a coach that defines very well and has the team with the identity that he really wants. So let's see what happens tomorrow on the pitch.
As a unit, Jamshedpur is always tough enough for this Bengal. So what's your?
If you watch the game, that was the last game before I came here. I had the opportunity to watch it live when I was in my conversations with the club to join here. And honestly, I think that East Bengal did a beautiful performance, but missed 1 penalty, hit 2 times the post. They were the dominating force. They created the most of the chances. But I just said that Khalid Jamil teams are teams full of effectivity. So they don't need to do a lot to win games. In every single action, in 1 set piece, in 1 second ball, in 1 counter attack, they are teams that they are not going to speculate and just let the time of the game go. They go for every action, and we need to be very aware. It's exactly what happened in the game in Jamshedpur. I think it was 2-0 the result.
Yeah,
2-0 the result, and if you see the statistics of the game, you will for sure not predict that 2-0 was the result of the game.
2 more questions and then we'll end.
Hi coach, as you always said that you prefer attacking football and your style is attacking football. We saw in the last match that what East Bengal can play if they suits their mentality and give their effort in attacking style. But in the last 2 matches, East Bengal conceded goals from the fullback area, fullback zones. There are some lapses. What do you want to say about that? And my second part is, when can fan expect an announcement of Dalal?
It's true that we are having some disadjustments still on the defensive line. You are personalizing it on the fullbacks, but I would say that there are disadjustments on the line. And for example, one of the points of the performance, of the poor performance in the last game here was these disadjustments and was not defending frontal and probably not keeping the shape of the defensive line. It's also true that sometimes they are penalizing a lot the actions on the back of the fullbacks. But that is a collective effort. So if we are having problems in that area, you need also to analyze that probably the help from the midfield and from the wings are not coming. So I will not personalize it on the players in that positions, it's on how we are closing that areas. Regarding the part of attacking football, Attacking football has a lot of varieties. What I say is that I understand this game as a game that you need to make more chances than the rival. The way you create the chances is the key to understand what you can do with the resources that you have. So you can be dominating, you can be more reactive. There are many ways to understand attacking football, but it's true that attacking football, when I talk about attacking football, I'm not talking only about being a dominating or playing in opponent half or have more ball possession. There are a lot of different ways in football to be considered an attacking side. And yes, when we have the ball, I just want to create a goal chance, not speculating and not sleeping on the pitch. And the last part, regarding the injury of Talal, I think that the club yesterday released one statement, as I told you in the last press conference, that before my press conference you would have the official release, and what is clear is that Talal will not help us for the remainder of the season.
About the replacement, when can expect?
Too early to speak about that. I think that the club is already working on this, of course, but it's too early. There is no enough information. I think that we are in a stage of gathering profiles, analyzing, scouting, and take the best decision, because probably the club will have the intention to do something. But again, it's too early, so I don't know.
Okay, we have time for one last question, Shilajit.
Hi, Coach. This is Shilajit from Bangla. Do you think after what your players did in the last match, the second half of Punjab match, your next opponents should more fear before playing you?
I think that our opponents don't only watch our second half, they watch the good run of results and performances that we are doing in the last weeks. I don't think that Khalid is a coach with fear. Opposite. All these kind of things, coaches like Khalid, they will try to understand it and to grow from what we are doing. It's the same as us. When we face a strong rival, we try to be at our best to try to neutralize that strong points of the rival. So I told you that they are coming from back-to-back games. They are coming with a privileged position on the table. We need to consider them favorites for the game of tomorrow. We don't have any problem, but the reality is that we are playing at our home field and that we have big chances that if we do the things that we are working in the last 2 days, I cannot say in the last week, because we only had 2 practices to prepare this game, but I think that the players are smart enough to adjust, to understand what we need to do tomorrow to beat Jamshedpur, and the game is going to be open. But I don't want to think that they are going to have fear or they are not considering them favorites. The reality is that tomorrow forces are there, and the 11 players on the pitch are the ones that will say that which side is the one that will collect the full points.
I think there's one more question. Yes, last one.
Coach, in the last match, you two promising players, NISHU and David, they played really. But do you think it's accepted for them? Because now opponents are really thinking about to stop NISHU and David. They are making plans.
The same way they think how to neutralize us, we also have the same thinking, how to neutralize them. So that is the tactical battle that will come tomorrow into the pitch. We have a deep analysis of what Jamshedpur is doing, and I do not have any doubt that they also have the same. And I agree with you, these players play very well, but understand what I say at the beginning of the press conference. We are thinking how to start the game, how to continue the game, and how to finish the game. So in this is, let's see if the plan that we are having for tomorrow will click or will not.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Coach and NISHU. One photo is the background.
Thank you.